just who is going to be number one on this list then as we do the player power rankings for Scrum half? It's a tough one. Tough one. We'll have to see. Let's see who's number one. But I'm going to go through the whole top 10 right now. The best Scrum halves as I see them, based on current form, historic form, and a little bit of gut feeling and opinion, which is what it's all about, which is why you should get stuck in the comments, hit subscribe and like. My number 10, again, a little bit like Jack Dempsey with the number 8 on the last video. My 10 position, I think, might split opinion a little bit, but I back this. Conor Murray. He's not first choice for Ireland. The guy's still got it. Over 100 caps. 8 British and Irish Lions caps. He is an Irish rugby legend. I would still trust him right now. I'd take him as England scrum half like that if he was English. No question whatsoever. I just think what a great player to be able to bring on and just see out a game. And I think experience at Rugby World Cup, someone who's been there and done it, is absolutely massive. So I am very happy with Conor Murray in the top 10. Number 9, Jaden Hendricks, a guy who hasn't had a lot of rugby lately, hence he's dropped a little bit. I think he would have been higher slightly. Still very early in his South Africa career. And he's just, he's looking at like maybe 15 caps. He's 23 years of age, rapid, really good box kicking scrum half as well, like good kicking game. And I like him a lot. He's going to be around for a while. It seems like him or Grant Williams are going to be the heir apparent to the Faf de Klerk throne in the years ahead. We'll see how that goes. Could well be this guy. Really like him. Let's see him get a bit more time. Hopefully he's fit and well. One of 4 scrum halves in the South Africa squad. I have got Cobus Reinach just above him at 8. Just sprinter speed and he's just a whippet and tough. Saw him play a lot when he was at Northampton. He's been brilliant out in France for Montpellier. Knows, in fact, that experience of playing in France that South Africa have got a lot of in their squad could be very, very important. And Cobus Reinach, I don't know who's going to get the backup job for Faf de Klerk for the World Cup. It could be Hendricks, could be Grant Williams, could be Cobus Reinach. I love Reinach personally, but there you go. 7, Thomas Williams. I don't know why this guy isn't rated more highly. I really like Thomas Williams. He always seems to make things happen when I watch Wales. Maybe there's something other people are seeing that I'm not, but it's closing in on 50 caps. I think he'll get the starting job for Wales over Gareth Davis. I certainly would give him the starting job. He's, I mean, if we were picking a British and Irish Lions squad, I'd have Thomas Williams probably as the third. He'd probably get the third spot in the squad right now. That would be behind Ben White, who, talking of players I'd love to be playing for England, he's actually English. He played for England under 20s, and then we just let him go to Scotland. Gutted. He has been absolutely brilliant. He was at London Irish, and he was at Leicester before that. He's just blossomed in the last year or two, suddenly playing just incredible rugby. He must have had that in him all the time, and fair play for the guys in Scotland spotting that talent, because he is a real talent and he just makes things tick. It does make me wonder, is it that he's playing in a system that is able to bring out the best in him? And maybe that's why so few English players have made my top 10s, because the system in which they're playing, whether that's the domestic league system or whether that's just the way that Steve Borthwick's setting his team up and Eddie Jones did before, maybe that's just why we're not seeing English players in this. And actually, if you slotted them into a South Africa team or a Scotland team, for example, they would actually look a lot better. At number 5, Santiago Arata, the Uruguayan scrum half, only 27 years of age, brilliant for Cast in the top 14 in France. Seen him play a lot there. He was amazing at the last World Cup, scored a brilliant try and was part of a fast improving Uruguayan side. And he's one of the few superstar players they've got. And yeah, I'm hoping that we see more from Santiago Arata in this World Cup. I don't expect to see Uruguay. Can they get a win? Well, it's that game against Namibia is the one. It's like their cup final, isn't it? And then they're going to see what they can do against the big guns. We will see. On to number 4 then, and Faf de Klerk, who, I mean, it was only about a month ago people were suggesting that he should be dropped from the South Africa team. Yeah, he wasn't quite playing at his best, but I think we've seen now the players that were in Japan I remember when the Rugby Championship started and South Africa looked a bit rusty, I was a bit worried looking at Damian Dialende and looking at Faf de Klerk. Oh, are these players and Peter Steph, are these players that play in Japan? Are they maybe suffering from not having good enough competition? I think we're now seeing them start to build a bit of momentum and get back to where we know they can be. And Faf de Klerk, if he plays anything like he can be, he'll be going up this list by the end of the World Cup. Aaron Smith at number 3. And, I mean, Nuggy, as he's known, 34 years of age. He's been there and done it. He's the most capped New Zealand back of all time, and you don't get that unless you are very, very good. Clearly, at his age and with the way he plays, which is all about tempo, he is on the wane, but he's still good enough to start for New Zealand. Cam Roygaard is looking an absolute box of fireworks backing him up. So there will be a handover at some point. Will it be during this World Cup? Probably not, because Aaron Smith is ace. But he is behind New Zealand born and raised Jamison GibsonPark, who qualified for Ireland on residency in what we're talking, 2019? Joined Leinster in 2016-ish, so that would make sense. I mean, I don't like I never did like the 3-year residency rule. I mean, I would do exactly what Jamison GibsonPark did. I would play for Ireland if they had the opportunity to play international rugby, and he seems to love it in Ireland. But yeah, there we go. I would also feel a bit sore if I were a New Zealander thinking, oh, maybe we could have had him. I guess they didn't pick him. So there you go. Anyway, Jamison GibsonPark plays with tempo. He's a massive heartbeat of the Ireland team and just makes them tick, gets the ball. The ruck speed that Ireland have is the quickest in the world, or up there with the quickest in the world. It's a massive component of how they play. And Jamison GibsonPark, his sheer work rate and gas is a big part of the reason why they're able to do it. But of course, number 1 is Antoine Dupont, not just the best player in his position, the best player on earth right now, probably the best player of his generation. And by the end of his career, because he is only 26, let's not forget, by the end of his career, quite possibly the GOAT. Certainly of the modern professional era, because it's quite tough to compare between eras, but a contender and in the conversation for the best ever by the end of his career. Early days yet, and let's see how he gets on at this World Cup, because it's tournaments like this where you really make your name. But he has got the sport of rugby potentially on his shoulders for the years ahead. He is that good. Antoine Dupont, number 1. And there will be no debate about number 1, surely. There might be about the rest of it. And if so, that's okay. That's good. That's what the comments are for. Please let me know, and I'll see you on the next video.